How did a recruit teach the instructor? Boot Camp, Paris Island 2008. I was a brand new drill instructor, fresh out of DI school, thinking I knew everything about breaking down recruits and building Marines. Then Private Marcus Walker showed up in my platoon. Quiet kid from rural Montana, barely spoke above a whisper. I figured he'd be easy to break. Most farm boys either crumble under pressure or turn into solid Marines. Walker seemed like the crumbling type. First week, he couldn't do a single pull-up. Failed every fitness test, got smoked constantly for being weak. Other recruits started calling him Whisper because you could barely hear him during drill commands. I was brutal with him. Extra PT, cleaning duty, verbal beatdowns, standard procedure for motivating weak recruits. Push them until they quit or find their inner strength. But Walker never quit, never complained, just kept showing up, kept trying, kept failing. After 2 weeks, I was convinced he'd wash out. Started paperwork for his dismissal. That's when things got weird. Other recruits started improving dramatically. Fitness scores shot up across the platoon. Discipline problems disappeared. Even the troublemakers were falling in line. Took me 3 weeks to figure out why. Walker was tutoring them. Every night after lights out, he'd sneak around the squad bay helping struggling recruits. Not just fitness, everything. How to fold uniforms properly, memorize general orders, clean weapons efficiently. Kid who couldn't do a pull-up was teaching others how to maximize their workout routines. Recruit who whispered was giving confident leadership advice. Made no sense. I caught him one night at 2 a.m., quietly coaching another recruit through proper rifle disassembly. Should have written him up for being out of his rack after lights out. Instead, I listened. Walker's teaching method was incredible. Patient, methodical, never condescending. He'd learned every technique by watching others succeed, then figured out how to explain it simply. You're not gripping the bar right, he whispered to a recruit struggling with pull-ups. Imagine you're holding a hammer, thumbs around, squeeze tight. Your shoulders are doing the work, not your arms. The recruit immediately did 3 perfect pull-ups, more than he'd ever done before. I realized Walker wasn't weak. He was strategic. Couldn't physically keep up, so he developed incredible teaching skills to help his team succeed. Classic force multiplier. Started observing him more carefully. Walker had identified every recruit's weakness and quietly developed personalized training plans. He'd turned my platoon into his students without me noticing. The breakthrough came during week 6. Walker finally passed his fitness test. Not because he got stronger, but because he'd learned to optimize his technique. Applied his own teaching methods to himself. His pull-up form was textbook perfect. Efficient, controlled, no wasted energy. He'd studied successful recruits, analyzed their techniques, then synthesized the best approach. By graduation, Walker had transformed from worst recruit to unofficial platoon leader. Other DIs were asking what my secret was. How had I turned around such a weak platoon? Truth was, Walker had taught me more about leadership than any manual. Real leaders don't just perform well individually, they elevate everyone around them. I started incorporating his methods into my training. Instead of just breaking down weak recruits, I'd identify their hidden strengths, find ways they could contribute to platoon success. Walker went on to become a Marine Corps instructor himself. His teaching techniques are now part of official training doctrine. The recruit who couldn't do a pull-up revolutionized how we develop Marines. Last time I saw him, he was a staff sergeant running advanced leadership courses. Still quiet, still methodical, still turning struggling Marines into confident leaders. He thanked me for not giving up on him. I told him the truth. He taught me that strength comes in many forms. Sometimes the weakest recruit has the strongest mind. Now when I get new platoons, I look for the Walker types. The quiet ones who observe everything, understand people, find creative solutions. They're often the best teachers and future leaders. That recruit taught me the most important lesson of my career. Never judge potential by initial performance.